person have a language deficit, a lack of social skills, repetitive behavior, and living interest. Some causes of this disease are a complex gene-environment interaction and a strong genetic influence. The prevalence of this is 1 in 68 persons, which I think is a huge percentage, and doing this kind of research is so important. The importance and relevance are uncharacterized molecular pathways and few pharmacological interventions. As you can see in these graphs, 70% of the causes are unknown, but the ones we know are syndromes, rare genes, novel mutations, and CNVs, which are copy number variations. Copy number variations is the generation of a chromosome, the duplication of a chromosome, but that duplication depends on the person. That's why doing all this kind of research takes a lot of time.
Well, now that my partner has offered you a broad view of what autism is, we have to see the genetic implications of it. As you can see here, high-risk gene for this autism disorder is choline-3, and choline-3 possesses de novo mutations. De novo mutations are mutations that are in the genomes of the patient but are not present in the genomes of their biological parents. Being that said, as you can see on the table, we have many de novo mutations, but in this summer we decided to study only one, which is E246X, which means that right after the glutamic acid at space 246, there's going to be an insertion of a protein having a mutation. This can be further explained in the picture shown on screen. The top link corresponds to choline-3 without a mutation. As you can see there, we have a GAG, which stands for the glutamic acid, and when we insert a protein, we can see the mutation, which is the extra A you can see there. We have to mention that these mice, in order to study them, we created the mice with mutations with a technology called CRISPR-Cas9, which is a genome editing technology which uses an enzyme called CRISPR-Cas9, which cuts the 2 strands of DNA, and also has a guide RNA which has approximately 20 bases and tells Cas9 where to cut.
So here's the importance of genotyping. First, you can see that we have a table where we have the wild type and head. So wild type is a mouse without a mutation, and a head is the one that has a mutation. We have 50% that can have a mutation and a 50% that cannot have. So if the mouse has 2 alleles with mutations, that means that is a knockout, and it could be lethal. And then when we have the ones that have the mutations, those are the ones that are steady.
Well, another key component that we have to understand for our research is PCR, which stands for polymerase chain reaction. Well, what is polymerase chain reaction? Basically, it is a process where sequences of DNA or RNA can be amplified, which in our case is DNA. To understand this process, we have to understand 3 key components. The first component is primers. Primers are short-stranded sequences of DNA, but why did we use primers? As you can see on the picture, DNA is very complex, it's very huge, but we only need to study one segment because our mutation is not in all the DNA, but it's in only one region. So that is why we use 2 primers. We use a reverse primer and a forward primer. So you can see on the picture that one attaches to the beginning of the DNA sequence and the other one attaches to the very end of the sequence. And then we can have the desired fragment we want to amplify so we can study it more. The other component that we need to know is a polymerase, which acts as a reading encoder and helps the nucleotides to attach to their corresponding bases and then complete the DNA sequence. We have now learned the components, but now we have to learn the cycles. The first cycle is denaturation, which happens at around 98 degrees Celsius. And what happens here is instead of having your double helix DNA, you have 2 separate strands of DNA. Then the other procedure that is done is annealing, that it happens at around 50 degrees Celsius. And what happens here is that the primers are attached into their corresponding beginning and end to delimiting the desired fragment that wants to be amplified. Then we have the elongation of the DNA, where the nucleotides are attached to their corresponding bases, and then we complete our DNA sequence. Also, there is another process that is called Sanger sequencing, which was a very important part for our project. Sanger sequencing basically is a targeted sequencing technique that uses oligonucleotide primers to study a specific DNA region. And this can be further explained the following picture. On the top bottom, we have a single strand of DNA, and in this single strand of DNA, you have to attach a primer to it. And when you have that attached, that DNA sequences is going to be put into 4 different tubes. And those tubes are going to have fluorescent dyes that will distinguish the different bases. So the first dye will have adenine, the other one will have guanine, and so on and so forth. And then when that is done, it will be put in an agarose gel to put into electrophoresis. And what this does is to separate the little strands of DNA and the longer strands of DNA. So the little strands of DNA will be at the bottom, and the larger DNA strands will be at the top. Then we have a laser beam, as you can see on the picture, which will be emitted to the DNA samples, and those can be interpreted into peaks, and that's how we know our DNA sequence.
The aim of this project was the genotyping of COOP3 mouse models due to the necessity to select a mouse mutation generated by CRISPR-Cas9. So first what we did at the laboratory is a DNA extraction with Cas9 mouse model. Then we did a DNA amplification by PCR, and at least we did a validation of the mutation with single sequencing. So the DNA extraction starts when we cut a part of the tail of a mouse or a part of the ear. After that, we put 500 microliters DNA extraction buffer and in a tube. After that, we put it in a vortex, which is a machine that gives it a spin. And after that, we put it into EQ block. So it has different kind of temperatures that what does, so the extraction buffer can get all the DNA. So first we put it 15 seconds in the vortex. After that, into 65 degrees for 15 minutes. Then the vortex again by 15 seconds. Then with 65 degrees for 3 minutes, and after that, 15 seconds in the vortex again. And at last, we put it into the refrigerator for minus 20 degrees Celsius.
Well, now that we have the DNA extracted, how did we apply PCR to our project? So first, we put, in PCR tubes, we put 2 microliters of that DNA extraction, and we also created a master mix that included enhancer, buffer, polymerase, a buffer, and also contained a primer. So when we had that done, we proceeded to put them in a machine called a thermocycler, which is a machine that has pre-programmed steps and makes all the process of denaturation and heating and extension possible. So as you can see on the picture, here we have a table that has the different steps we took for our program. At first we started at 98 degrees Celsius, and then we proceeded to repeat steps 2 to 4, 34 times so we could amplify the desired sequence of DNA, and then we ended at step 5. So steps 1 and 2 correspond to the denaturation of the DNA. Steps 3 correspond to the annealing, where the primer is attached to the corresponding beginning and end. And steps 4 to 5 correspond to the extension of the DNA.
And this process take us like 1 or 2 hours depending on the program we're using.
Now that we had the PCR done, we had to proceed to make an agarose gels to see how many approximate base pairs we created. So as you can see on this picture, we have a very clear image of what our samples look like. This links correspond to a 100 BP DNA ladder, which serves us as a guide to see how many base pairs we have. So on the first lane, we have 100 base pairs. On the fifth lane, we have 500 base pairs, and so on and so forth. Therefore, as you can see that our samples are in between the fourth and the fifth lane, we can infer that we created approximately 450 base pairs. After that, we proceeded to make to send our results to Sanger sequencing, and here we obtained our final results. As you can see, the bottom picture shows a chromatogram of a wild-type mouse. So this means that both allos don't have a mutation. And on the bottom lane, you can see that there is a mutated mouse since there is one allo that is mutated. Here we can see the difference between both chromatograms. In the first picture, we don't have double spikes, but in the second picture, we do have double spikes. And what does the double spike mean? For example, here you can see that in the mutated mouse, we have 2 spikes that overlap. This means that there is a mutation because we have another protein inserted, or a nucleotide, which is the extra A in the DNA sequence. results for all the leaders of our mice. The first leader, we obtained 50% of head mouse. The second leader, we obtained 61.5%. The other one, 50%, and then 62.5%. That can be proved with our hypothesis that we were acquired around 50% head mice.
So our conclusions are that the sector sequencing results validate the mutation of the mice, which was the 50-50%, and the further directions of these investigations are to characterize the cellular and molecular phenotypes of the developmental of the brain, investigate molecular impact of the mutation to identify dysregulated pathways, and the characterization of behavior phenotypes of the developed mouse models, and test pharmacological inhibitors for phenotype reversal. Also, we would like to thank our PI, which is Lilia because she lent us the lab, or mentor, Victor Muribe, because he was so